Today, the use of innovative tools and techniques are creating new ideas in design. Many artists have created new styles using these tools. However, this influence is relatively new.
So from the beginning of the early 70s, when it started to revive, it's been a re-burgeoning craft. And so now there are many people who are so proficient at the letter forms that now it's where do we want to take it.
I think when calligraphy was revived in the United States, at least back when I started in '88, it seemed like there was a heavy emphasis, for example, on the italic style of calligraphic writing. The people who I think were involved in that revival in this country had a lot of emphasis on the italic form of writing. I think what's happened since then is we've seen this process of letter evolution continue. We've gone now to a point where we've come from some very strong traditional forms, the Roman, the uncial, the italic, the Carolingian, those type of forms, and we've moved now to where we've got into more, for example, the pointed pen styles, the copperplate, the Spencerian. So we're seeing the thing continue to move along in that way. And now what I think is happening, we're getting into a whole modern era where there are calligraphers now who are breaking all the rules and are doing some things that would be classified pretty much on the edge. And maybe that's where a couple of years ago I kind of thought to myself, I need to do something now that I'm really interested in and something that's new and fresh, which led me to do the type of things that I'm doing now in calligraphy.
Douglas Boyd is a teacher and owner of a graphic design business in San Diego. He began his career in South Africa, where he studied technical and fine art before coming to the United States in 1969. He has taught classes throughout the United States and, for 3 years, was an invited teacher to the Ghost Ranch in New Mexico. He is widely recognized for his innovative and contemporary work in developing a variety of writing styles using modern-day tools and materials. The artistic expression found in the shapes and in styles of alphabets is unlimited. Today, calligraphers are creating a blend of styles. Randy Hasson, an artist from Solana Beach, California, has developed his own unique look.
Most of the lettering was done with this brush, which is this lettering. This is actually an aluminum can that was cut and shaped into a pen, which will then come back in and I can get very thick or very thin letters with that. That particular tool was used to make these red letters here, these really dark letters here, in order to get a different feel into the lettering. This is also a ruling pen that will allow you to go on a broad stroke and then come back up on a narrow stroke.
A trip to the local art store will show how much the tools of the artist have changed. The latest pens available have challenged the artist in new ways. Gel pens are increasingly popular, and the look they generate is quite distinctive. One calligrapher who employs the use of gel pens is Douglas Boyd.
I think what's happening now is we're seeing as the industry has perfected these tools, and we're finding that a lot of them now are, for example, more light fast, they're more permanent, they are pigmented. They are not the craft tools of the past that were things that artists did not want to use. We are now able to take some of these and create some artwork that to our understanding is going to be around for a reasonable length of time. There's a certain brilliance to it. There's an excitement to it. When I teach now students, much like the students that I have at the moment, they're excited about the fact that they can go to the local art store or the local craft store and pick up a pen that they can use to do calligraphy. They can pick up various tools and are able to do some very nice calligraphic forms. When I keep telling them calligraphy is basically beautiful writing. And whatever it takes to do that, I think there is nothing wrong in the 21st century for us to be able to take 21st century tools that have been so wonderfully updated and made to last so well. It's wonderful that we can go get those 21st century tools now and do our skill and apply our skill to our letter forms.
I use everything from traditional broad-edged metal nibs to flat brushes to cut up aluminum cans formed into a pen to bamboo. So there's really a variety of things. Some calligraphers use the round, rough stencil brushes to make their marks, and so really anything you can imagine, whatever the mind can conceive, you can really use.
Randall Hasson has taught and lectured at international lettering arts conferences as well as local calligraphy guilds. The techniques he uses today incorporate calligraphy and illustration into large paintings on canvas, using traditional composition and painting principles to form an exciting new style that crosses over the boundaries of traditional calligraphy into the realm of fine art. Today, in community centers and universities, students are learning the techniques that inspired the old masters. The styles of calligraphy developed today are going to be the computer fonts you see tomorrow.
But I think that throughout history, words have always had an impact, and I mean there has been from the earliest cave artists, they were communicating, and when words developed, they started to communicate with words, and we have graffiti today that's a communication, a form of communication. Some of it's really ugly and some of it's really beautiful. So words are an impact, and words are important to people. When I do see people walk in the door, people will walk in the door and they'll stand on the threshold and they'll look, and some of them will say, "Ooh, words," and they'll leave immediately. And some of them will say, "Oh, words," and they're drawn right in immediately.
Calligraphy has developed over many centuries, and the process that started thousands of years ago continues today. The major catalyst for change in style and use of calligraphy has been technology. The printing press, typewriter, and computer have challenged this art form, and yet it still prevails. It's truly special when you look into your mailbox and see the elegant handwriting on an envelope addressed to you. The artistry and effort go a long way in making the recipient feel special. Calligraphy is truly the art of the written word and so much more. The art of today's calligraphers, with their distinctive styles and techniques, gives this art form new inspiration. Calligraphy will continue to surround us in many new ways, and the future ideas are unlimited.